Hi, my name is Tanya Bulette, and I'm the counseling coordinator for the San Diego County Office of Ed. I'm going to give you a brief tour of A through G and how a student can be marked as being met on the CCI indicator by meeting this requirement. So what is A through G? So A through G is basically your college admission requirements. These are requirements that students or courses that students must take in order to be eligible for a CSU or a UC school. So we have different college systems, and two of the biggest are two public university systems, which is the UC system. There are 9 UC schools throughout the state of California, or a CSU, which is a California State University, and there are over 23. And then we also have our private universities as well as our out-of-state universities where students may be applying. However, as you can see, the only ones that are in blue are the schools in which students must meet A through G in order to apply. So what is A through G? So it's basically just going through the alphabet, and each letter of the alphabet has been assigned a course or a core subject area. So A represents our history and social science courses. Students must complete 2 years, and those 2 years look like this. They need to complete 1 year of world history, cultures and historical geography, and 1 year of US history, or 1/2 of a year of US history and 1/2 a year of American government or civics. Now you may be saying, well, as a student, I had to take 4 years of high school history. That is true. That is to meet the high school graduation requirement. However, for A through G, it is just a 2-year requirement. B. B stands for English. Students must complete 4 years of college preparatory English in order to meet this requirement. And again, for most students and most school sites, this is also a graduation requirement. 4 years of English is pretty standard. C represents your math. Students must complete 3 years of math, college preparatory math, and they must include elements with elementary and advanced algebra and 2 and 3 dimensional geometry. And yes, integrated math, which has been added to most schools by now, does cover all of these topics. Now you will start to see that some of the A through G also have recommendations. And for students who are especially going into a STEM major, 4 years of math is probably a good idea. And so 4 years is the recommendation in order for students to stay competitive. D represents your laboratory science. This is a 2-year requirement, and students must complete it at least 2 of the 3 disciplines in a life and a physical science. And typically students have to complete biology for graduation as well as chemistry or physics. And so again, this is a 2-year requirement. However, 3 years is recommended, especially for our STEM majors. E is language other than English. Now, this is a confusing requirement because as you will see, you'll hear the verbiage that you need 2 years. Well, it's really the second level. So what this is students must complete the same language other than English or equivalent to the second level of high school instruction. So if a student has taken Spanish in middle school and they want to come in and start at the second level of a high school course as a freshman, they can take the second level course and be done. They have met A through G by completing that second level. Now, of course, this one also has that caveat that a 3rd year or higher is recommended. F. So F is your visual and performing arts. This is a 1-year requirement, and students typically have a variety of choices. They can choose from dance, music, theater, or the visual arts such as digital arts, art, photo, ceramics, etc. It's just important to make sure that your course that you're taking in art does meet the F requirement, because sometimes schools do offer a variety of different art classes. However, they may not meet the standards that are necessary for this to meet the F portion of A through G. And then the last one is G, or your college prep elective. So this is a 1-year requirement, and typically students meet this without even knowing it or planning for it, because it could be that 3rd year of a lab science. It could be that 4th year of math. It could be any of those that count towards this elective. Or if you take 2 years of choir and they both meet the F requirement, then that 2nd year can be counted as an elective as well. So let's review. A stands for your history or social science requirement, which you need 2 years. B is your English, 4 years is required. C represents math, 3 years required, 4 years recommended. D, lab science, 2 years required, 3 years recommended. E, language other than English, 2 years required or the second level with 3 years recommended. F is your visual and performing arts, you need 1 year. And G is your college prep elective, which is 1 year. So students not only must meet all of the A through G requirements with a grade of C or higher, but as you can see on this little box here, it says +1 of the following options. And there are 4 options for students. So the first one is our CTE pathway completion. So not only must they meet A through G courses with C's or higher, but a CTE pathway is finishing a sequence of courses with at least 300 hours and completing a capstone course, which is typically done in your senior year with a grade of C- or better. So students can't just take a class their senior year and be a CTE pathway completer. It is a sequence of courses. Smarter Balanced Assessment. So this is scoring a level 3 or higher in ELA and at least a level 2 in math, or a level 3 or higher in math and at least a level 3 or ELA. So a student can get a level 2 in math, but they must get a 3 or higher in ELA for both of these areas in order to be marked complete. So that's important. That or is big and bold for a reason, and it can be confusing, but it's to make sure that at least the level 3 in ELA is non-negotiable. Can't get any lower than that. College credit. So if a student takes a college course, an academic or a CTE course with a grade of C- or better for 1 semester or 2 quarters, that can also be marked as meeting this. And then the last one is AP or advanced placement with a score of 3 or higher on 1 AP exam or an IB score of 4 or more on 1 IB exam. So again, that's your A through G tour +1 in a nutshell. And if you have any questions, please reach out and ask. But it's a good idea to check out your school's data and see how your students are doing. You may find that they just need 1 or 2 more courses to meet A through G, or they need a score of 3 or higher on an ELA test. Whatever it is, you can find your school status on the CCI at californiaschool-dashboard.org. And then for more information and resources, go to cte.innovatesd.org/CCI.